November CPI came out last week. The market really got frazzled from it, tanked fast.
I think just the volatility that we've seen over the last 4 trading days or so has just been absolutely wild. The big news that kind of came out of that, or at least the change in sentiment, was, all right, market had been pretty sure that there was going to be a 75 basis point hike, maybe a small possibility of a 50 basis point hike. And now you're seeing, the futures markets price in, I think it was like a 12% probability of a 100 basis point increase in the November FOMC meeting.
Yeah. And one more note about the macro thing that kind of drives me nuts is, I think it was Bostic, the Fed person, Bostic, the banker from Atlanta. Apparently, there's an investigation now on him buying and selling stocks in his personal portfolio, like at the height, right before they started cutting rates aggressively. It just seems so shifty that the Fed committee, they can do that stuff. I want to know when he's buying back. That's what I want to know.
Why don't you just invest in a passive, ETF or something like that? To me, it seems like, index-based investing for the time that you're serving is like a prudent thing to do.
Our earnings tomorrow, the estimate we have is it was $1.20.
I think we're $1.32. A lot of Tesla Twitter analysts have come out in the last week or so with estimates in like the $1.20 to $1.30 range, somewhere like that. So we're still on the high end, but not nearly so much as it seemed like we were last week.
Our focus on China, being much more efficient, has led us to this higher number than everyone else.
We wouldn't really change anything just because it looks like we're on the high end right now. We like our numbers. We think they're about right. So if we're wrong, we'll adjust, but we're comfortable kind of keeping them where they are.
There's always potential every quarter going forward that they're going to take a huge chunk of, I think we touched base earlier. You said it was like $1.5 billion of deferred revenue.
I had initially been thinking they'd recognize it in Q3, but it looks like the rollout didn't quite go as wide as maybe we might have thought.
Would you say the second hardest unknown to predict by anyone is what we call the phantom asset of the regulatory credits buildup they have? That
it's becoming less important, and a lot of analysts kind of back it out anyways because they don't think it's going to stick around in the long term. But yeah, it's like really hard to forecast. So I think we're modeling 350 million this quarter, but like they could just come in at 700 million or something like that.
Elon confirmed he's going to be on the call. That's good. It's good because I always like
good or bad. I don't know. We could end up with like 15 minutes of nuclear war talk, which I don't think will be particularly helpful for the stocks. There's kind of two things that I would really like to get some guidance on. One would be kind of Q4 deliveries. The other thing I would love to really hear them dive deep into is the Inflation Reduction Act. The dollar values that we're talking about are so big. And I really think, especially with the stock price fall that we've had over the last month, I don't think Wall Street really understands at all the potential impact to Tesla.
What I'm looking to hear is, what's the demand and order backlog stuff like. The other big thing I'm really looking to hear about is anything about the Cybertruck.
I'd be surprised if there was anything more than like, I don't know, a dozen Cybertruck deliveries in Q1.
Real quick, we had a really cool interview with Daniel Schreiber, the CEO of Lemonade, on our YouTube channel.
So I think Lemonade is really set up for the same sort of dynamic. It just so happens that they're like, right about at the peak of like cash burn and negative profitability right now.
I'm excited about Lemonade, and also Roblox had great metrics, and it was viewed very favorably by Wall Street, and that's why the stock was up 20% yesterday.
Roblox posted some really strong numbers, and the thing that is interesting is they've got a decent amount of overseas revenue. From their point of view, with Tesla trading where it is, it'd be a very high IRR potential if they think that the company is undervalued, which I think they probably do. So I could see them opening the door and saying, we're going to go to the board with some sort of proposal or something like that.